assignment for the kids to, on election night of the, a national election, they need to color in the blue states and the red states for Republican and Democrat. So I have a map of the United States here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little arrow here to open up in, and I'm going to open up in Note Anytime, which is the one that we're learning how to do here. It's going to ask you if you want to rotate it. If you have a picture that's rotated, you can obviously rotate it to the different degrees, but ours is perfectly fine. If you want to put it in different spots on the screen, you can do that as well, but I just want it nice and centered. So I'm going to hit the Done button. And when I do that, it opens up here. And you can see this little button right here. If I click on that, it'll open up a little menu. And you can do a lot of things here. And what I'm going to show you now, though, we're just going to look at coloring blue for Democrat and red for Republican. So let's just say, and you can zoom in and zoom out doing the whole pinching your fingers. So you can zoom in on the picture. I'm going to click on this button right here, kind of like the marker tool there. If I click on it, and I can change the thickness of it. So I'm going to make it about a 10. There we go. And let's just pick red and click Done. So I'm going to color in red for Texas and red for Oklahoma. And let's say I want to zoom out and I want to do like blue for California. Okay. And you can zoom in, zoom out, doing the two fingers, pinching and spreading out there. And if you wanted to scroll over to the left and the right, you do that with two fingers as well. And then if you want to change the color, just hit the red pen thing right there, and you can change it to blue. And hit Done. And then let's color in California blue. So I'm going to zoom in there. And then if you want to change the thickness so it doesn't take you as long to color, you can do that again. Just click on that button. And let's say we want to change it and scroll it up to something nice and thick so it doesn't take us nearly as long. Hit the Done button. And then you can color that state in. Like that. Okay. And let's zoom back out so we can see it. And you can see how once you fill in all your states, you could really make that a nice colorful map to be able to turn into your teacher. So I'm going to go to my Dropbox and open up a fraction worksheet and just simply hit that down arrow again and open in and go to Note Anytime. And I'll sit there and ask you if you want to rotate it again, do all this stuff again. I'm perfectly good where it's at. So there's the PDF, and again you click on the little button there to open up their menu. I'm going to do the two finger thing so I can zoom in, zoom out with that, focus in on what I want. The nice thing I like about this is that I can go here, click on the pen tool there and say what fraction, I'm working on this problem right here, what fraction is that? It's obviously, there's 1, 2, 3 of the fourths. So I do 3/4. I can keep this thing nice and big here, make it even bigger as I can get it. If I do this next one here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8. So that is 5/8. Now that writing is nice and big. If I were to pinch that back, you can see that it keeps the same scale of the writing on that PDF. So I can zoom in and write it big like I really want to on the iPad, and then to be able to turn it in to the teacher, I can just keep it nice and small like that, like it should be. Okay. Let's say that I want to move, I've done like number 1 and number 2, and those aren't centered at all on those things. If I click on the little lasso tool right there, click on that, and I can circle what I want to move, and I can move that to wherever I want to put it. I can do that. I can do the corners, make it bigger, make it smaller. I can even rotate it around and do whatever it is that you want to do with those graphics that you've drawn on it. So I want to do it again over here. Click on the lasso tool there and move that guy. Whoops, stretch that out there. Let's try that again. Move it and move it to there and click off of it, and there I've done it. And then so my answer of course is 1/2. Whoops, go back to the pin. My answer is 1/2 right there. Okay, so it gives you some examples of how you can do some just handwriting on there. And there's a nice calligraphy pen there too. If you click on it right here, there's a nice calligraphy pen. So if you write in your answers there, 5/8, you can see that it's a nice pen instead of just the regular straight pen if you want to be all fancy with it. A PDF file here that I'll find in iTunes U. Just click on the open in, and we're going to open up in Note anytime. Again, it'll have everything that it normally does. You can rotate or whatever, we'll leave it the same. And we're going to type in some answers, so I'm going to zoom in where I want to. Click your little icon there. I want to do the text box, so we're going to do it there. Just click on it and say my name is Michael. Scroll down and I'm going to fill in some metaphor stuff. A metaphor. A figure of speech. And to save some time, I'm not going to write the whole thing out. Let's say it is raining cats and dogs. Okay. So get rid of the keyboard so we can see more. And I can see right now nothing is lined up the way we want it to be. So I'm going to come get my name lined up better. And it's easier if you just click on it. I've pulled up the little box around it. If you make the box a little bit bigger, it's easier to move things around instead of the small box. Then just click anywhere like on that dotted line and it will move it. And we can line it up nice and neat right there. Let's say the figure of speech, we want to move it to where it's kind of centered there. Same thing with it's raining cats and dogs. Click and drag, and just there you go. Now, let's say that I want to make the figure of speech be all in red. So if I just click on it, hold it down, I can select all of it. If I hit the decorations, I can change the color of the font by here and right there in the middle. The font, I want that to be, let's say, red. Okay. Then all of that is in red, as you can see there. Okay. Now let's say it's raining cats and dogs. We want that to be nice and bigger. So if you just click and hold, you can select all. We can say decorations. We can change the font size from standard 12 to whatever it is that you want. We can make it bigger or smaller. Let's just make it 26. So it is nice and big. So let's move that to where, to make it fit in our box here, you can just sit there and click and drag like that. And then if you just click little buttons there on the side, it will fit in my box there. Now let's say we only want to highlight one word and change that color of that one word. So click and hold on like raining, and just hit select. And again, go back to decorations, change that color to, let's say, blue. Hit done. And you can see there that that one word is just changed. So you don't have to change them all. You can change it however you want to. And again, you can zoom in, zoom out. You see that everything stays the correct size. We're going to pull up a picture. So what I'm going to do is create a new note. So you can go back to your menu here, create a note. And I'm just going to do a blank one there. You can do all those different types of ones that you want. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple for what we're doing here. Get a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to click on the little pen again. And up here in the top, you can insert the picture. We can add from the library, which if you want to add a picture from the library, there's a lot of different graphics you can put on there. Okay, but I'm going to actually pick one that is from my camera roll. If you click on it again, add from a photo album. And it is on my photo stream. See if I can find it real quick. Some pictures of flowers right here. You can either do high or normal. I'm just going to do normal for right now. Okay. With this graphic of this picture, again, you can click on the little arrow on the side here. You can rotate that picture however you want to. You can always hit the undo button to change things back to what it was. If I want to resize it, I can just simply click on the picture and hit the little corners, like you do on any other app or program, to change the size of the picture. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, since it's a science class, I want to label the parts of that flower. So what I'm going to do now is click on the little pen tool there, and I'm going to do my nice calligraphy pen, so I want to make my handwriting look nice. Okay. If you wanted to change the colors, you can. If you want to make them stick out, nice and green or something like that, you can. Okay. I'm going to pick a nice thinner line there, hit done. And say I want to label the leaves. Okay, where's the leaves? Well, obviously the leaves are right here. So I'm going to say this is leaves. You can draw your arrow to that. If I want to change the color again so every color will stick out, let's change it to red now. Let's label the petals now. So this is a petal right here. So let's draw an arrow to that and say petal. And another part of the flower. And I'm not a science person, so I'm pretty impressed that I'd actually be able to remember the different parts of the flower here. But these are the one parts I remember. The stigma, that little piece there in the middle, is the stigma. You can label it to there, and do it however you want to there. Okay. So there's some ways that kids can actually go out and take a picture and do real life explaining what the different pieces are of flowers or whatever it is that you want. Okay, now let's say you have your file here and you want to send it back to the teacher, or the teacher wants to send it to the student, or you send it however you want to do it. If you click on the little piece of paper with the arrow, that means you want to send it somehow. You can see there's a lot of different ways that you can send it. Okay. For right now, I'm just going to say send email. I can send it as an image or just a PDF. I'm going to send it as a PDF, and it'll pull up your email. You can just type it in right there and type in my email address here and send it right off. Let's say picture of flower. You can send it, and it would send it via email. Now there's other ways that you can do it. You'll be able to save it to your iPad and then post it to like Google Drive or Dropbox or however it is, or My Big Campus, or however it is that you have it set up in your class to be able to submit those assignments.